Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope you all are doing well out there. I wanted to hop on real quick and talk about something that was very disturbing that occurred this weekend on Saturday night. So if anybody knows anything about football, you all know one of the greatest running backs of all time is Adrian Peterson. You know, he gained his fame basically by being a phenomenal freshman running back at the University of Oklahoma. Then he got into the NFL and he absolutely killed it with the Minnesota Vikings. You know, one of the only running backs in history to get 2,000 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, that came after the season in which he tore up his ACL. So he's one of the greatest running backs of all time. Then let's talk about Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is one of the most dynamic running backs that we have seen. He was here and then gone before you knew it. These guys had a boxing match on Saturday night. The crazy thing about it is that these guys earn so much money in their careers. Adrian Peterson earned maybe, I don't know, 125, 150 million dollars, and Le'Veon Bell earned close to 100 million dollars. The interesting thing about Le'Veon Bell is that years ago, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, Le'Veon Bell had a contract dispute. He wanted more long-term money. He wanted a more guaranteed contract, and he sat out for an entire football season. If I'm not mistaken, he lost about $18 million that year by sitting out. And I said at the time that he was a fool. He was a moron for sitting out that year. And I remember people saying, oh no, he won. He know what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. And I said, nope, that was the dumbest thing you could do. You never relinquish money. You never give up money for the possibility of earning more later down the road, especially in a sport like football where you can easily be injured and your career can be over just like that. Well, he came back into the game after the year off and he just was not the same player. Anybody that knows him knew, you know, that the guy was phenomenal. He can wait all day for a hole, find that hole, and he's gone. And he was averaging, I think, like 5 yards a carry for most of his career, 4.5 yards a carry. When he got back, I don't think he ever averaged over 3.5 or 3.3 yards a carry. So he just wasn't the same guy. Ultimately, he may have, you know, given up $100 million by sitting out that year and not doing what he had to do. Adrian Peterson, you know, you have the off-field stories that happened with him, but he was one of the best running backs of all time. And these guys had a boxing match that ended with Le'Veon Bell knocking Adrian Peterson out cold in the 5th round. And Adrian Peterson actually knocked down Le'Veon Bell earlier in the fight. But the bottom line is that these guys were, first of all, Adrian Peterson is a first ballot Hall of Famer, no question. Le'Veon Bell could have potentially been a Hall of Famer. And you have these guys fighting for what? For what? One quarter of a game check in their prime? How many millions of dollars have these guys squandered in order for them to have to be fighting a boxing match? It makes absolutely zero sense. But one common theme amongst both of these guys is that they both have multiple kids by multiple women. And if you think about all of the athletes throughout the years who have gone broke, look at ESPN broke the documentary, same theme, you know, guys having multiple kids. And I know for a fact, having 3 kids by my wife, how expensive kids can be. So I can't imagine when you have all of these various kids who are spread out with multiple women, I can't even think about how expensive that has to be. And we all know that $100 million is not $100 million after you pay your agent's fees and taxes and all of that good stuff. That 100 might be 40 or it might be 60. And when you are giving it out to so many different people, you got all these hangers on, you got all of these women, there's no way you can build wealth that way. There's no way. So I'm very disturbed. There's absolutely nothing that was funny about the fight. I saw a lot of people laughing. It wasn't funny at all. It was actually disturbing. I am highly agitated at the fact that you have these two former greats who are sitting there beating each other's heads in. It's not like boxers who, come from the hood and they have to box to get out of the hood, to get out of poverty. No, these are guys who had millions. They had millions of dollars, and here they are banging each other's brains in for something they should not be doing. So I'm highly disturbed. I'm highly agitated at that. And I just wish that more and more athletes and people in general who are in influential positions can be more mature. Imagine if they took 25% of their money and put it into an index fund every time they got paid. Every time they got a check, put 25% into an index fund like VTSAX, put another 25% to the side for taxes or whatever, pay cash for your houses,